It should work now. Oh my god, you guys. Breaking news, quirky style. You're so correct, actually. Also, god damn it. Like, I I had to clean up my wires yesterday, and now they're all like rolled up. No, that's not right. That can't be right. Oh my god. That is so annoying. I can't stand this. Okay, okay. I think it's okay. I think it's gonna be fine now. My table is so full of just nonsense because we're gonna be making coffee together, obviously. Um, dude, let me see what I've missed. Just everyone saying hi. I have heard only a couple of songs from Irene's album. I will listen to it later, but I've heard that people are kind of underwhelmed. I think honestly, she has like pretty mild style. It's kind of everyone's cup of tea type of deal. So it's not going to be super experimental or anything like that. So I don't know. Um, the first EP wasn't experimental either, though. So I don't know what we're talking about in terms of like people being confused as to why it's not super experimental or anything like that. I kind of expected that, TBH. Um, Today we've got coffee from Ethiopia. This one is Day Benza, and they describe it as floral and complex with notes of red berry and lemonade. I don't know. Hi, Svader. I think I've been trying to figure out uh whether we should play, perchance not today, but whether we should play Before the Storm first, um Dispatcher, or the new uh the reunion. What is it? Life is Strange reunion. I know that um like I looked it up. I know that Empty said that we need to like you kind of need to play Double Exposure before you play that, but people say that you don't really. So I don't know. Thank you. Let's let's make some coffee. I got my bear cup again. It is it snowed again, and like so much, dude. Seriously, how did it snow this much in one fucking night? It's insane. So I am in my hoodie situation today. Um, I don't have it in me to dress up. I don't know, you guys. But let's go. It smells good. Okay. Yeah, but you know it's April. At this point, it shouldn't be snowing this much. At this point, that's ridiculous. Um, well, actually, global warming fucked up my country too. Because the thing is, global warming is a bit of a misleading name. Because global warming is more like climate change, which you get with a change in climate like this is that you get really high highs and really low lows. So in the summer it gets more progressively more hot and unbearable, and in the winter it gets the temperature drops a lot, um, and it keeps going up and down. So it's like a lot of changes in atmospheric pressure, a lot of wind, which fucks up the ecosystems in general, not just the wind, but um, yeah, it's just climate change. It's not really warming. I think that people use warming in just so they can get a bunch of people confused, so they don't believe in it. Because if you say, "Oh, it's global warming," everyone's genuinely gonna think that if it snows or if it's cold and wherever you are, you can be like, well, it's not happening here. No, it is happening here. It's just that instead of negative like 20 as it used to be, it drops to negative 30, and then the next day it's plus 17. That should not be a thing. Anything that you plant um, in like May and June that you need to plant in areas like this, in more like rural Midwestern areas, it's not gonna survive because most of this shit is just gonna be like fucked up by the weather. Fruit Love Island can fuck my like it can suck my ass. Cannot stand this shit. I genuinely don't understand like the amount of AI that people are using. It's so bad for the environment already. I just don't understand. And also, like, do you not have enough fucking Love Island? Do you not have enough? There's so many of them, like American, the Australian one, the fucking UK one. There's so much to watch, even if you just watch things from the past. My zodiac sign, I'm an Aquarius sun, Aries moon, and Sagittarius rising. Um, I actually checked out the Fairy Guardians, but I think for me it's a little bit uncomfortable to be playing on Roblox, to be honest, because I feel a little bit like I don't want to be around kids and I don't want other adults to be there either. I think it's kind of, I'm not sure actually, but I just don't really like how unregulated it is, considering how many kids are there. It's like creeping me out. Did I already buy Dispatch? I played recently and wondered how could we play that because it really is an interactive movie with a management minigame, and it's not gay. We've been queer baited. I didn't really hear anything about it being gay, to be honest. I thought I saw this like clip of Vanilla Mace um playing it, and I'm not gonna lie, like mm, I was like, what? Why would these two women want this guy so bad? Does that make sense? Like, I would understand if he was like pursuing them and like being really charming or whatever the fuck, and they wanted him. That would make sense. But I'm just, I'm not done yet. You see, I'm keeping this here for 5 minutes. We've been live, okay, 12 minutes. And my Slavic household, it's already someone coming into my room like, are you gonna give the kettle back? Like, I want tea again. Girl, you just made tea 15 minutes ago. Whatever. My classmates were like, I'm so obsessed with Fruit Love Island. I'm so happy I started. Oh, God. Your zodiac is Tiger? Oh, you mean like your year zodiac? My year zodiac is an ox. I don't even think that you like why you spend time animating Love Island. It's already there. There are so many seasons of it and it's all the same. It's like every single season is the same shit. New Sims, which episode when? By the way, down question, but if you were ice cream, what would be your flavor? I think you know what? We should probably play which like Sims 2 which together on stream on one of the gaming days because I'm so tired of editing you guys. I genuinely can't do it anymore. like, and also a lot of it is kind of like, I don't know. I think a lot of joy has been sucked out of YouTube for me because of how YouTube is behaving. Like, for example, remember how that girl um, blocked my podcast episode in Canada? I still, like, I got responses from YouTube, but then when I started to actually, like, press on it and being like, tell me who the fuck did that because I'm going to be pursuing legal action, they're not responding. It's so tiring to be, like, to work on YouTube or to work with YouTube. It's just not like uh my friend have the excuse that the real for Love Island is too inappropriate, which is so stupid. Just watch nothing at all. Exactly. What the fuck? Like, genuinely, there's so much shit that's been produced. There's so many movies. Just if you take one decade, take the 90s. There's so much shit there. You're not gonna be able to watch everything that's ever been released back then. What's the point of doing all that? Actually, let me make coffee because my mom needs the kettle. And I'm like hogging it. So we're doing it as per usual with an AirPress. Let's see how good this is. It's okay. Let's put this here. Okay, let me return the kettle like a good little kid. Can I recommend some movies? Yeah, it feels like you're doing How Do You Do, Fellow Kids. Exactly. Like, it feels, obviously, it feels like that. Um, can I recommend some movies? Girl, honestly, I'm not really. I watch movies because of visuals. I have seen a lot of them because I studied it and I had to watch a lot of them and stuff, but I actually I don't think any of them are that important to watch. Like, none of them are really matter that much, to be fucking honest. But if you want to watch something, it depends on like what kind of mood you're in. So like, tell me what kind of mood you're going for. Did you all see Olivia Rodrigo's new album cover? So let's actually add it in and talk about it. Okay. You know what I hate? When Instagram photos come up, but they don't actually load in Google in full quality. Like, what the fuck is the point? That's so annoying. Anyway, uh, let me see. Where the hell did everything go? Oh, okay, found it. um, let's move me over here and add a bit of Olivia Rodrigo in here. Uh, well, first and foremost, honestly, I'm glad she moved on from doing the same thing over and over again with her album. Um, it's mostly in terms of like, how do you even say that? I guess the color story. And I mean, Sour and Guts, like they just, it has the same vibe. I wonder what she's going to be going for this time, if she's going to be going um, in a different musical direction. So, and the thing is, I like that she goes for a specific color or whatever the hell because like she likes this color. She wants, and obviously, you know, it helps with the um, just being more memorable or whatever the hell. Just having something, you know. I know he's a lovable loser, but those girls would never. Oh yes, yes, yes. I was like, who are we talking about? Yeah, I was like there's fiending for him, you know? Like I saw somebody say, and I thought it was so fucking funny. I saw somebody say that it's literally like Twilight for men because it's kind of like two hot girls are just like absolutely obsessed with him for no fucking reason. That's literally the appeal of Twilight, you know? Because why the hell would they be trying this hard with him? I mean, they just went a little bit too hard with how hot they made those girls, like, they compared to him. Like, I need you to be serious for one fucking second. Uh, sadly, not Linus's. Dude, what's with, like, we keep on getting lion shit in the games, eh? What are we talking about? Just anything, honestly. YouTube is such an annoying platform. All popular platforms are so annoying. We need some random girly girl platform for videos and content. I think so, honestly. You hear Pika? And we are waiting for that first single, surely by April and or May. I think she's probably gonna release her first single this week. Or like Monday. Monday. Twilight for Men, more like every man in a romantic comedy. Yeah. I mean, seriously, like, you need to just, like, be a little bit more realistic. It's just ridiculous at this point. I just can't be, like, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. They just like saying anything and doing absolutely anything. Ooh, I can spill it. Not spilled it, but like splashed everywhere. Okay, let me remove some of this because this is ridiculous. The amount of shit that I have here. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, what rom com are we talking about? We're not talking about a rom com. We're talking about Dispatch. Um. Good lord, what is with this thing? And yeah, you discovered Pink Panthers. Good for you, honestly. My god. This is pissing me off to no end. I hate this shit. It's like all wrapped up. How am I wearing shorts in this weather? I don't know. Because the thing is, why am I wearing a hoodie and shorts? Why? Just why? I don't know, dude. I genuinely don't. But yeah, Bassism and I have a new wild story. Well, I mean, kind of more like Bassism has a wild story to tell you that we're gonna tell on the pod. And I think, in my opinion, honestly, this is so much worse than the art school um horror stories moment, the infamous um supply closet moment. um Honestly, yeah, I thought about that. I was like, damn, that's very Canadian. Like, why did I put fucking shorts on in this weather with a hoodie? That's a that's a very Connor outfit to wear. Did James Cameron sue? No. We should sue him though. The closet girl, exactly. Okay, just just remember, for those of you who have been here a while, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, who have been here when we were discussing that horrible ass incident that scarred us for life, dude, we've got a story a lot worse than that for you. um I still cannot believe what she told me. um I mean, I do. I'm just saying it's just so outrageous that I just, yeah, no, it's so much worse. I need you guys to like prepare. I think we're going to be, if unless she like dips tomorrow, cuz you know how persistent is. Um unless she dips tomorrow, we're going to be filming it tomorrow, and I'm telling you, it's not just worse. It's so much worse. And this was like on like a photo shoot, um a 4-day thing for a company, like for a really big company. Um, it's so bad. I genuinely was like, she called me whispering, telling me this like everything, because she was like, someone's gonna hear me. I'm telling you, the weirdest shit imaginable, for real. Today I was gonna talk about actually, this. It's not really an incident per se, but there was again a discussion or a debate. I need to keep up on the Lisa and persistent lore. If you don't know the supply closet story, or what was it? What kind of closet was it? Am I forgetting? Like, why am I forgetting everything? Um, it's like the art room closet. It's not really like anything particular. Oh, bye, bye, Omar. Um, Pika. Pika is coming in. Um, so yeah, if you haven't heard that story and you need to, um, it's in the podcast episode called Art School Horror Stories. Yeah, it's like season 2. I think it's season 2. Oh, my little baby. Anyway, um, yeah, this bread. Um, anyway, yeah, I was gonna talk about this debate that happened on Twitter. It has gotten kind of, oh my god, the freaky girl doing her project. Yes, that. So the news story from Bisistent is a lot worse than that, no doubt. Um, it's outranking. It's outranking everything, dude. I'm not even kidding. Um, so there was this whole debate, this whole conversation. Oh my god, Pika, you. She's being crazy. Like, she keeps going back and forth. What is with my hair today, girl? Anyway, so I don't even know how this shit started, but there was like a whole conversation between basically millennials and Gen Zers, and a conversation that involves basically talking about um, feminism and how kind of like a conversation of choice feminism, but also the whole like sexual liberation conversation and who it serves, who it doesn't serve, other things like that. And it's gotten, dude, I think as people who are like, if you are in your mid 20s and older, I know that mid 20s and even when does Gen Z end? Like 96, 97, something like that, right? Um, even if you're in your late 20s, I assume it's still kind of Gen Z, like old, like elder Gen Z or whatever the fuck. If you're older than that, I think that everyone needs to leave people who are that much younger alone when it comes to this conversation, because I think it is honestly so fucking. It's really freaky because the conversation overall was about um, the fact that vanilla relations have become kind of not denormalized. That's a pretty thorny subject, especially in this cultural moment. Uh, why thorny? Um, so yeah, and they were kind of basically saying that the standard for what is mm, vanilla, or what is standard, or what is the norm, whatever, has become so like pushed so far that um, people are kind of like uncomfortable with it. Yes, first of all, there a lot of adults are arguing with teenagers. Second of all, um, they're not wrong per se. As with the cultural shift, let's actually probably should we remove? Should we keep Ophelia here? Ophelia, Olivia. Sorry, damn. Um, it's just kind of really strange to see them getting really pissed off at people who do not want to do something. Not the. Is that Taylor Swift? Oh, Ophelia. Oh, yes. Okay. I forgot that she has a song named that. Oops. Um, but yeah, so let me actually see if there's maybe I have like a tweet or something saved somewhere, because I think I wanted to kind of talk about it, but it got so out of control. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys saw this and how many people were participating in the conversation, but it was an insane amount of um, tweets and just opinions. Genuinely, everybody was chiming in. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, where is it? Why did I even like so much shit here? That's very annoying. Mm. You guys go ahead, tell me something for now. Okay, let's keep her there then. Um, Do, 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 do. I'm like, there's no way it's been that many days since it happened. Why is there so much shit that I liked in between? Damn. I think that maybe the person deleted it because basically the conversation was kind of being like, being sex positive means um, kind of not understanding that mm, that should include supporting people who don't want to be having sex too. It's kind of like obviously part of it, and it's just okay. I just keep seeing some of the things that were said and just kind of being like ridiculous. Where is it? Yeah, so there was a lot of conversation about specific acts and stuff like that. And I just think, honestly, and by acts, I mean like acts in the bedroom or whatever the fuck. And it was really, really strange to see, first and foremost, a lot of adults, like, you don't know who you're talking to on the internet. Maybe hold your horses a little, you know? Second of all, again, it's kind of weird to be so hostile to um, people for not having the same like libido as everyone else. It was just a really weird fucking conversation that sounded um, our word culture-y. Just the most ridiculous shit being said. And the worst part about it is that it was said by a lot of adults. Obviously, there were a lot of people who were Gen Z um, chiming into the conversation. And obviously, some of them were kind of more extreme with their takes, in quotations. But I think that there was this weird um, hostility towards the uh, towards the women that were bringing up, like the young women that were bringing up the fact that a lot of acts that are considered to be the baseline are in like to them not something they want to do, and they see it as degrading, and people being mad at them for it. And it's like, why should you, for the love of God, why would you be um offended by someone saying that they don't like something? If you're okay with people saying that they like something, I think that maybe you should be also okay with people saying that they don't like something. And it's really, really strange. It Pika. She's just going off, dude. One sec. Tammy says, I remember I did a course back in undergrad where we were discussing what sex positivity is and how it should include those who don't want to participate. Yeah. There's just so many conversations that don't need to be in public forum. I think, it makes sense. You kind of have to have a lot of conversations publicly because some people are completely isolated and they need to have a place to talk about things. And sometimes those conversations can be very useful for them. But it's just like one of those things where I just don't understand why a bunch of adults have such a elementary relationship with sexuality and choice feminism. Like, it's as if millennial women just kind of stuck. Like, they were going with the rest of the wave of like studying or knowing more about um the new waves of feminism, intersectionality, and things like that. And it seems like they got stuck in that boss babe bullshit where sexualization is the only path to liberation to them, which is just some capitalist bullshit, to be fucking honest. And it's just really, dude, I was glad to see that a lot of people who were participating in the conversation weren't backing down the way that people used to back down with it, because people are always like, don't kink shame, and it's like, well, sometimes you gotta, when people don't know their place and don't know boundaries. And that's the thing that happens when you expect everyone to be okay with it in public, or to be okay with it in terms of like the goalpost being constantly moved in terms of what is normal. I think that you shouldn't assume anything as normal and should always be communicating with a partner. But this type of mentality, this PORN type of brain behavior is going to be affecting a lot of like how people view what is normal and what is assumed to be okay to do. And it's a very dangerous line to be walking. I think that it's better to communicate and to ask, and to also maybe not assume that so many things are the norm. Do you know what I mean? Like they went so far as to be like, yeah, this is the norm and this is the norm, and if you don't want to be doing it, you're ace and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, okay, we're just saying anything at this point. Holy fuck. Tammy says, as someone who was coming to terms with their asexuality, it was affirming to hear. Yeah. Love background posters composition. Thank you. People who are mad at others for something like that genuinely worry me and make me not want to do anything even more. Yeah, they kind of like seeing those types of like tweets and people being like, "Well, maybe I like this," but it's like, "Okay, dude, that's not what the conversation was. It was about what is considered vanilla and what is the baseline that people are kind of constantly pushing forward, not forward even, but pushing out of the bounds. um and the thing is, again, I just think you shouldn't assume anything to be normal. That's kind of like um except for communication, I guess, or something like that. But again, this is just not like that easy of a conversation to have, and it's really weird to shame young people for being concerned about this, because again, to compare to millennial women, they don't understand that Gen Zers are dealing with literally like Hitler Youth. No one wants to fuck Hitler Youth. Sorry to say, that's not particularly hot. I feel like they, um, if they like it, they don't want to do something degrading. It's just an emotional reaction. Yeah, I think I'm the barest hint of women having opinions and preferences. Not surprised if the internet jumped in to slap them down. Yeah, as a clowny asexual, clowny, clowny, why clowny? It's funny how many progressive, in quotations, people can't accept that and don't be offended by it. Yeah, and they also infantilize people who don't. It used to be that it was infantilization of people who are not interested in sex. Now it's infantilization of people who are interested in just vanilla stuff. You know what I mean? Like it keeps on moving, and it keeps on moving in a direction that is only pushing the comfort levels of one group, which is women, or people who are, um, well, queer relationships is a different beast. Not saying that it doesn't have issues like that, but it's definitely not as prevalent with people who are a little bit more open to conversations of gender dynamics and um, what gender performance is and stuff like that. It feels like these people are almost offended that others don't like what they like, and maybe they feel as if those people are challenging their norm. Like, why would you be so angry with people not liking something that you like unless you're insecure in it? Yeah, I mean, that's what it read as to me personally, because I genuinely was just sitting there like, why does it bother you that a bunch of people, a bunch of young people are not into the same things as you are? In the fucking bedroom, out of all things. Um Even if they like, what does it if I think that someone grabbing my arm is disrespectful to me, I have the right to that. Even if you yourself don't think that it's disrespectful, even if as a consensus, as a society, we don't think that it's disrespectful. If I personally feel that way, it's valid. It's not a big deal. And do you know what I mean? Like they have the right to their autonomy. It's really weird to get angry at women for not wanting to be as available or have the same boundaries as everybody else or as an average person. It's just like, what else are you going to control? Are you going to walk into the fucking house and like tell me if I can sit in one place or another? If it's the norm to like, I don't know, wake up at 9 a.m. or fucking 12 p.m. Like where are you going to stop with the control of what I seem or what I deem as normal and not normal? I can't do it with online discourse because it seems like the internet rediscovers the same three topics every week and barely elaborate on any of them. Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm interested in more doing like this conversational type of uh, lives on current events or current topics or pop culture, because I do not want to be making a whole ass video essay in quotations on a topic like this, because it's not worthy of an essay. But I think that there is value in conversation about it and talking it out with people who are confused or people who do want to just vent their frustration about it and just kind of discuss what we're seeing as a pattern in discourse. Rightfully so, I think some adults didn't have the tools to unpack that relationship, or they were just taught to avoid it altogether because these people who grow up in certain cultural, I don't know, I would assume cultural backgrounds maybe or something like that. No, it wasn't just them saying their sexual orientation. No, it was like preferences and they got I think they got mad at someone who said that certain acts in the bedroom are degrading in their opinion. And they were like, "No, no, they're not." And it's like, "Okay. Well, sure." There was a podcast that I was listening to that was discussing eroticism in the 80s and 90s in the USA. It was interesting to see how sexuality for women was portrayed at the time, particularly in films during that time. Why was it different, and never actually developed a nuanced framework for thinking about sexuality, agency, and choice. They kind of stopped at a very early simplified version of, and just stayed there. Yeah, the thing is, what I don't like about that conversation is not about what they see as what the older, I guess, crowd, or maybe not the older crowd, but the one that was actually that enjoys those specific acts that they were discussing. What I don't like about them jumping at people who don't like that or see it as disrespectful is that fundamentally they have a really weird view on desire. It's not a thing that you have, that you yourself um, act upon and exhibit, but rather a thing that uh, you perform. It's a really basically, if you think that everyone is supposed to have the same opinion on whether something is degrading or not, whether something is enjoyable or not, you kind of subscribe to the idea that everyone has the same desire, not patterns per se, but the same type of um, feelings, I guess. And I think it comes down to the fact that as a overall as in society we have a very warped idea of what desire is, because I think that the dynamics of like the social dynamics are making it very difficult to actually differentiate between things that we want because we want the reaction or the acceptance, um, things that we want because it will elicit a certain reaction from people around us or give us a certain status or give us a certain level of acceptance in circles, like friendship wise, other things like that. Um, and what is actual desire and acting upon it. I think this is why there's obviously people who are really against like any type of like porn or erotica and stuff like that, which I think they have a point. Uh, I just think that the reason why over people who are indulging in it way too much, um, I don't know if I would say it in the absolute, just indulging in it in general, or just like participating in it is having that effect. I think that overindulging in it or seeing it as the norm is definitely, it's not just the fact that it's giving you ideas of what is normal and not normal and making people more or less violent or whatever the hell, but the fact that you're not discovering things through reality, you're discovering things through the screen, and you're basically discovering ideas of what could be performed rather than acting on desire. So it becomes a very warped thing altogether that doesn't actually make you um, participate in life in a very authentic way, if that makes sense. What I wanted to say is that people might be afraid that something they consider the norm is not actually the norm, so they find people who challenge that weird or dangerous to their worldview. Yeah, I think that's a natural reaction to that. I think sometimes people like that haven't known discrimination, so they think everyone is attacking them personally when it's just people disagreeing with them. Yeah, this is kind of similar to Heartstopper versus heated rivalry conversation. What was the conversation there? I haven't heard of it. Um, and when aces try to tell people that there's a difference between romantic and sexual attraction, people freak out. Yeah, because they definitely don't. They just don't analyze their feelings that much, I guess. Um, Me leaving the second I see Christian Gray's playroom, like that's just me. I literally had a friend who told me that my romantic feelings is just a friendship. Hmm. What are people saying again? Oh yeah, people were calling people who liked Heartstopper but not Heated Rivalry prudes and saying Heated Rivalry was more realistic because it's more sexual. Oh, right. Again, there it's very common for people to say things like, "Oh, it's more realistic" or whatever the hell. And also, you know what? I saw this clip of Caleb Heron. Obviously, he was also kind of like half joking, but they were talking about how Gen Z don't want like sex scenes in movies or whatever the fuck, and that, how puritanical they are. And Caleb was being like, "Yeah, no, they actually there should be more, yada yada." And I think that the conversation I actually addressed it in my Euphoria and Sam Levinson video. I don't think that the new generation is reacting to just the existence of sex scenes. I think the problem is that the scenes themselves are very off putting. They are usually between characters uh, that you're not supposed to like for example, Cassie and Nate. Or if you do like them, honestly, I'm kind of concerned for you, not gonna lie. But overall, it's just one of those things where um, I think they just have really bad uh, scenes in movies. The chemistry is not there. The movies are dumb. The characters themselves feel very decontextualized. And I actually talked about that with my assistant yesterday because I was like, you can't. This is kind of the reason why that article that said that everyone is hot but no one is horny. That article, technically, I don't even think that it's no one is horny as much as like no one is attractive or no one is um it's about charm, first of all, and second of all, the fact that I think a lot of people don't understand that you cannot be sexy in the vacuum, you know? The attraction, the charm, um, the way that people have some kind of magnetism to them, it is only coming in relational situations, in situations where you see two people interact as people that have context of their lives and have some sort of authenticity that they are living with openly, that becomes attractive. And I think that this is something that people are forgetting, and this is the reason why you can see so many movies with people that look perfect, but they've got absolutely no, as some people would say, sauce, you know? They've got no pull, they've got no X factor. I don't know how to even like explain it in any other way than just to say that yeah, it just doesn't have the right um charm level, I guess, because you are seeing somebody performing and it feels like a performance. Their entire existence is a performance. Their entire face is so perfectly symmetrical, like artificially so, to the point where nothing is authentic about it and nothing is relational about it. They don't actually have any real effect on anybody around them. Do. Even slightly older people online are constantly like Gen Z this, Gen Z that, and won't stop complaining about what we're doing because it makes them feel better or something. Yeah, but also I think that they're forgetting that it's literally the new generation is dealing with the Hitler Youth. Like the guys are absolutely unhinged. I don't know why. I don't know how they're not sick of themselves, but that's just how how it is. There was a lot of feminists who were anti SW, a lack of diversity in race and sexuality. Who were anti SW, a lack of diversity in race and sexuality, also a lack of nuanced discussion on class and sexuality. They were anti lack of diversity in race and sexuality, or what? Both Heartstopper and Heated Rivalry are valid experiences in different ways. Yeah, I think so. That sucks because romantic relationships do not need sexual attraction to be considered romantic. Yeah. I just saw today that they have Britney in Euphoria season 3. Britney is Britney Spears? The fuck? Yeah, everyone is hot but no one is erotic. Yeah, exactly. They aren't quirky, dude. They're just not quirky. I don't know what to tell you. They got no riz. Yeah. I wish I was as attractive as not funny, slightly tall guy. Some of these directors are predator perverts. They make sex scenes that aren't even hot. Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. Um, Someone like Sam Levinson, like, are you really surprised that considering that Euphoria was the biggest show for Gen Z, are you surprised they're not into this whole thing? Genuinely, why would you be surprised if this is the type of shit they're getting? And like, I understand that people have different dynamics, other things like that, and it's really hard not to make a show work with everyone having fucking healthy relationships or whatever. And I don't think you need to have healthy relationships in shows as much as there needs to be still um, a level of, at least proportionally, you need to show some people having relationships that even if they have difficult dynamics, they're still not disrespectful pieces of shit in the bedroom. Otherwise, like, why are you surprised? You're showing this type of shit to people, to these kids, and then you're surprised they have this reaction. I don't think it's surprising. We're not providing them with very good material to understand themselves and the world around them. It's just a natural reaction, really. Hollywood whining that we don't want what they make when we find out about more exploitation and abuse behind the scenes every day. Like, yeah, it's a real mystery. Exactly. Is Hitler Youth a new term? No, Hitler Youth was just um, a name for a Nazi organization that was like prepping the kids to be Nazis in the future. That was just a real thing. The fact that some people blame intimacy coordinators for the lack of chemistry is pissing me off. Like, they are there to ensure that the actors' boundaries are protected. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? It actually pissed me off when people were. Was it Mikey Madison? Is that her name? I think it is. I think I got it right. When she was talking about it and she was like, yeah, we didn't have intimacy coordinators. And she was kind of like saying it as if it makes it more authentic. Bitch, you're acting. I would assume that an actor would act, that you know how to act and that you actually act. What world are we living in? This is like, how is this? Whatever. Fuck. I genuinely. Um. I fell into Maddie X Rue propaganda, and I think I actually like them together. Huh? Are they together? I think Britney has a cameo or something, but I saw the pic. I might be mistaken though. It was April Fool's yesterday. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I can't stand April Fools, dude. Um, this is the reason why in my friendships and whatever, the bits that we do or something along those lines need to be very clear. It needs to be very clear that we're doing a bit right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose my shit. I really don't like the half joke, half truth type of deal because it's like, well, there's truth to every fucking joke. I need you to be more clear when you're fucking joking. Um, I really don't like that kind of shit. Um, coming in to say hi, guys. Hi. Like, yeah, the intimacy coordinator is coordinating the intimacy. um, I know I'm too gullible. Yeah, me too. I'm just gonna take you at your word. If you're gonna say something fucked, I'm gonna think you actually said it. Sorry to say. Um, I don't know what to tell you. Like, how else how else are we gonna go about that? You know what I mean? Also, do any of you guys, if any of you watch Twitch streams all the time, can you tell me about it? Because the thing is, I don't quite understand the entire thing, and also on top of it all, I I really like, for example, like Vanilla Maze. I like Madeline Pendleton's educational stuff. Um, there's a lot of like I've heard of a lot of good Twitch streamers, not as many as fucked up ones, but still. And I'm so confused about why when I open Twitch, the main page is just such a gross like the fucking thumbnails piss me off. And I mean it's kind of like YouTube, except I feel like there's less algorithmic compatibility because why am I getting a bunch of like horned up lives recommended to me with people just like I don't know, fucking weird. Yeah, Twitch Home when you use it often is just slop. Ugh. Hi Linus, it's Maya from my old account. Maya. Whenever someone says hi Linus, it's like 50% chance or like 80% chance it's Maya. uh Real, I hate April Fools. A completely unserious day full of misinformation like that isn't every day at this point. You know, I understand pranks at least, like harmless ones. Kind of being like, oh, what do you have on your shirt or whatever the fuck. But people releasing, especially like people are releasing information about like news or about media, like something being canceled or something being renewed or something this, it's like, fuck, for days I'm gonna have to hear misinformation after that because no one's gonna catch up with April Fools. Do you know what I mean? Like people see posts at different times. It's not gonna be a one day thing and it's pissing me off. Yeah, it was Mikey. I've seen multiple actresses say that intimacy coordinators make the sex scenes less authentic. Like, girl, what? Exactly, you're acting. What do you mean less authentic? How is it? So the blaring lights in the room are not making it less authentic. The script is not making it less authentic. The DP, fucking first AD running around and screaming at a bunch of PAs is not making it less authentic, but this does. Yeah, I need you to be so for real. Another thing with intimacy coordinators, it prevents situations like it ends with us nonsense. Yeah, exactly. Um, Yeah, don't check the ASMR category on Twitch. It's messed up. Oh, I saw Vanilla Mace's Life is Strange reunion gameplay. Her Chloe wig was cartoonishly hilarious. What does she do? Like, does she only do gaming? I don't think so, right? Like, she does some other things, but did she start with only gaming? The podcast brings up the lack of queer representation in the films at the time, as well as exclusion of women of color in the discussion as the paper about intersectionality came out. Then, oh, mm-hmm. This is why Bound is the GOAT. Come on, you guys. I think I'm part of the problem. I love orbit humor. Orbit? What do you mean, orbit? The fucking bots, too, dude. God. This bread, so hard to buy it. Too Maya, too furious. Exactly. Hi, Lionesses. Hi. 4 hour drive, bus drive. Girl, I hope you don't do it every single day for work or something, because that's insane. Stan Luna and all it all. Bye, MT. That's crazy, dog. Everyone's Pavlov response, Luna? No, literally. Dude, the avocado toast. Except this is not even a toast, it's just like a piece of bread. And like, I regret taking this one. Howard Waverly and by Siston. Well, Waverly's good. I I think she's supposed to have her spring break soon, so maybe we'll be streaming more together. And then by Siston is okay too. We're gonna be filming tomorrow, but you gotta dude, you gotta prepare because the story that she's gonna tell on the pod is gonna be horrible. Not the old being called Maya Linus. Exactly. What the hell? Corky is the only one who can judge us for our use of the term Linus. Exactly. And I can do that as well. I'm judging, but also I so get it. I need to make that clip of Frank screaming, "No, my lioness!" and use it as a soundboard clip. It's hard to buy, dude. Literally. I'm afraid I'm gonna like break a tooth on it. Gosh, I'm good. Wait one sec.
Gosh, I'm good.
Exactly. Okay. Are there any pop culture and current events things that you wanted to ask about? Mm. I know that this discussion was on TikTok, but there was a discussion about older men preying on college undergrads at spring break. Yeah, it's a literally yeah, like kind of like know my line is gonna like know my Shayla exactly. Um, you know, it's so weird. Like I was talking to my friend about this, and I keep on seeing it even with my like acquaintances, friends, whatever. Like she's younger than her boyfriend by 4 years, but then his friend was talking about how he dated a girl who was 4 years older than him, and they were all talking about how like their age difference is like um not strange per se, but they were like, wow, she's like so much older than you. It's like, dude, you are the two of you are currently in a relationship and there's the same age gap between you, but because she's a girl who's younger, they don't see it as such, like as like weird. And I'm like, I don't even think that 4 years is like that big of a deal if you're in your mid 20s and older, but I just don't understand how they're not clocking it. Like you're sitting here, I'm younger than your boyfriend by more years than that guy was younger than his girlfriend, but you guys don't think that I'm a kid. However, you think he's a kid. Isn't that a little strange? My God. Taylor Swift wedding, yes or no? What do you mean, yes or no? What about it? Is it gonna happen or not? Is that the question? Yeah. I just think it's hypocritical. I was like, and they were like, no, like, if you are in your mid 20s and earlier, I don't care what age you are. I'm like, no, I still do. I think that if your age difference is more than 7 years, you need to think about it. Even if you are an adult, even if you're like 35 and 42 or whatever, you're gonna have a different, like, you basically, if there's like 10 years difference between you, one of you is gonna go first, and like, it's not gonna be, obviously, you can't predict any of it, but it's just, isn't it strange that it's always a woman who's younger and it's always like she becomes the nurse? You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely not a neutral thing to do, but if it's under 5 years or even under 7 years, why are we even talking about it? But they are not talking about it when it comes to the girl being younger, which is like, and you guys don't fucking notice it or something. And this is woke crowd, by the way. Just saying. I don't really have any non woke people around me, to be fucking honest with you. They're just different levels of woke. Thoughts on Katy Perry dating our former prime minister? Listen, they're kind of in love or whatever. Like, good for them, I guess. It's kind of funny though. I don't know. Will it actually happen? Oh, I think it's not gonna happen. I don't think that Taylor's gonna marry him. He's been kind of bad for business, and she's like Captain Capitalism. My parents have exactly 7 years age difference. LOL. It was arranged. Oh, not so current, but I love heart to heart and Kiki dance music. I already tune on Kiki because their production always deliver. I like H2H, trendy mean girl part of the rude too. Trendy mean girl part of the rude? What is that? Artist in the audience is Wacom drawing tablet worth it, or should I save for iPad? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know actually. I had Wacom, but I'm not that much of an illustrator, to be honest. Mm. The vibe is Mean Girl. I know Kiki. I like their latest EP. Not me forgetting about the coffee. It's good though. Yeah, the vibe is like Mean Girl, but unapologetic. Like Mean to Man. Oh, so me coded actually. Let me check it out. I just learned the dance for 404. It's a good dance actually. It's crazy how nobody believes Taylor will marry him. Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's because she's the queen of North American arranged marriages. She will arrange marry off herself to the best. Well, bitter is crazy, but to the best option. Fuck, I don't know. It's definitely she's kind of getting annoyed by the reputation, I guess, that he's giving her. Because you heard about there was like something with a charity, some kind of bullshit going on. There's like conflicts of interest, money being spent inappropriately from the money that they have, you know, gotten for the charity. So there's like a bunch of shit happened that made her look bad, and she had to put in a shit ton of work to correct the PR. So obviously, this is not gonna be. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna go through with it because of that. And also, I'm more than sure. Actually, maybe she will do it just for the business sake because again, she's at an age where the demographic that she caters to really wants her to be married and to have kids. Um, she'll definitely have a hard time with marketability if she doesn't do the womanly thing. You know what I mean? Because she's not really. God, my family is like talking so loud. Um, has something inspired me lately in fashion, music, or visual art? Um, I've been kind of into um, old animation from Soviet Union, and I think I'm gonna talk about one of those animations in the pod, but also maybe do another video talking about it at some point. Um, but it's just like so crazy to see mainstream stuff that was government sponsored to be so base, to have like such progressive politics, and while at the same time having really interesting art direction, and especially the early works that were kind of done a little bit more like um, do what you can with what you have kind of approach, are really really interesting. um, Taylor wore butt pads on the red carpet. Huh? Seriously, what? He also kind of ruined her Democrat, but not too much image. Yeah, pretty much. Because the thing is, he's remember when that bat cracker fuck, what is his name? Buttiker? No. Another football player from his team went to the graduation. By the way, why would a school, a women's only school, as far as I understand, why would they invite a football player, a guy, to give a speech? Harrison Butker. Harrison Butlicker. He gave that whole speech of being like, yeah, you know what? You guys need to, you know, go get married now and have kids and like forget about the rest of your education. Like, you guys got too much education already. Someone taught you how to read. That was against the law. That was against nature. Fucking freak. Anyway, I have been watching people discuss the new Netflix dating show with people of different age gaps, and it's an excuse for the host to justify his age gap relationship. He's 18 years older than his wife. Ugh, God. God, that's so gross. It's just gross. And I heard about it and I was like, yeah, it's so difficult for this 70-something-year-old man to be dating a 22-year-old. He is so devastated that the love of his life that he didn't know she was this age is like turned out to be this age. God. Oh, I love Soviet animation. Please do the pod on this topic. Soviet animation is so diverse in style, and some cartoons are so wholesome, but others are horrifying. Yeah, I think the one pod that I'm gonna do that I'm prepared to do already is going to be about Cipollina. I'm not going to do all of them at once because it's a lot. I'm just gonna like do one here and one there or whatever because there's a lot to discuss there. Pika. Oh my god, Pika came to roll around. Like she's literally just rolling around. Well, not rolling around. Scratching her sides on the sofa. Um oh, that dude, the fact that his mom is a woman in STEM and accomplished is very telling. Yeah, just scum. Like can you imagine that phrase that Korean feminists came up with about how um a like the flesh that was created by me is not gonna turn against me as a blade or something like that. Basically, being like, I'm not giving birth to the next generation that's going to have half of the population be people who clearly turn around and betray you. Um, would love Lisa Soviet animation vid. Yes, I don't know, you guys. Should I do a Cipollina video, which is like this cartoon that's very that's basically like about revolution kind of thing, but it's for kids. Should I do a video on it on the main channel or should I do it for the pod? Probably the pod, right? I don't know. Have kids in this economy with my gay demisexual bordering on asexual ass. Exactly. Exactly. Like why would anyone do that? I'm so ready to see everyone's opinion on the drama when it comes out. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from it. I'm avoiding spoilers and stuff. Oh, I just saw Alex Russo is returning for Wizard sequel season 3 and she's directing an episode 2. Oh, I thought she died. Roly Poly Pika. Roly Poly Pika. She's so tiny. Like so tiny. Can you see her? I feel like you can, right? Pika. Damn it. You still can't see her? What the hell? Oh, oh, wait. Pika in her natural habitat. Pika. You're so tiny. Yeah, you're so tiny. Okay. Oh my god. Damn it. Fucking dropped it. Um, the drama director turned out to be a groomer. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. This may be the most controversial role Zendaya has ever had. I wish Zendaya was our Natasha Lyonne or Melanie Linsky. I'd love to see more queer roles of her. I think only one is Rue from Euphoria and her Shake It Up character. Why would you want her to do more queer roles? I'm honestly really tired of people who are not queer playing queer people. It's kind of getting out of hand. Like, I understand it's not like the most important thing to the point of like, but I just recently on TikTok saw that that girl who played, fuck, what's her name? Shit. From Bottoms. I believe that out of all of them, out of everyone who played queer characters, not a single one of them had a queer relationship publicly. That's weird. I mean, it's like it's okay when it's like one person, two people, like most of the time in shows there's like one queer character, some kind of queer, you know. And if they are not queer, at least statistically speaking, it's like, yeah, well, no shit. Like maybe they, you know, cast people without really thinking about that, whatever the hell, which is like totally fine. But when you have a whole cast, it's a whole movie, you know? Everyone, if you like horror, watch Thesis and tell me if the guy with glass is hot or is it just me with glasses. Hi, um, YouTube chat coming over from Twitch to yap with y'all. Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's not enough people on Twitch, so it's kind of like probably boring to be there. I guess the chat is on the screen, but still. Um, yeah, I feel like we're regressing when it comes to hiring queer talent. Oh well, I will just wait for it to be available on Resca then. Oh. Me too. Thesis 1996. Why is it good? What did you like about it? Like, acting has always been queer as fuck theater, so why are we not giving queer actors the recognition they deserve in these roles, especially roles of specific experiences? That's the thing. Listen, I understand that if you're going to be pushing for that, there's going to be a pushback in terms of hiring non straight actors for straight roles. So we got to be careful with that. It makes sense that people would get pissy about it, okay? Now, I just think that in the show that is so clearly, not show, a movie, right? That was built on queer shit and was clearly made for like cult classic status, definitely was made to uh, get acclaim with the queer audience. Okay, um, that's it's clear that it was made for that. Um, there's what one, two, three, four, at least four characters, four main characters that are uh, gay, bi, lesbian, whatever. More like lesbian and bi, I guess. I just don't understand how out of all of them, not a single one of them has been in an open relationship with somebody um, who's not a cis man. That's weird. You know what I mean? Like that girl who played, it's not PJ, it's the other one. Not Ayo Edebiri. Fuck. Hazel. The character's name is Hazel. What do you mean? Like, you consistently have queer roles, and for some reason, and if people are like, well, it's their personal life, whatever, you're correct. However, isn't it funny that with their personal life, you still see whenever they have a straight relationship or a relationship with the cis guy, it's very public. But then with everybody else, it isn't. If we're, like it's just kind of like statistically, it's a crazy stat to have four main characters who are queer and not a single one of them being visibly queer in real life. That's weird. If it was one character who was gay and it wasn't, the actor wasn't gay in real life, like fuck, well, it is what it is. Four? I don't know, you guys. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. And I don't even go here. I like Twitch because the quality is good and it has less lag. I think so too, actually. I do like how good the lives run there. Every queer dialogue sooner or later goes into bisexual girls with boyfriends conversation. Yeah, but that's the thing. With that, I understand why people make jokes about that in terms of just like it is statistically true. But that's the thing. It's statistically true because how obviously it is. Just in terms of quantity. You've got a population like let's say not like 85% of the population identifies as straight. You've got out of 15% that are like for example identify as gay, how many of them are actually people who are into women? So it makes sense just statistically speaking that they would be with men. But again, this is a ridiculous statistic now with bottoms. Like baby girl, teeny tiny baby girl. Let's put a bottoms gif in here. Which one though? Which one? I want something funny. Right. I want a gif of uh what's his name? Damn. Of Nicholas running after the girl, being like, "Oh my teeny tiny baby girl." Fuck. Well, it's a great thriller type film about a girl at film school writing a thesis about violent images who accidentally finds a snuff film of a girl from her college. It's shot on film and cast as hot as fuck. Interesting. Okay. Uh, Rachel Snot is crazy. I don't know. I kind of respect Shawn Mendes and Conan Gray for refusing to give a fuck. About what? I like the visuals and thesis. Not an art person, so I don't know if they're actually that good, but it also dialogues with the theme of disturbing images, their use, and how it impacts you, which is relevant today. Oh hi Omar. Conan kissed a guy, and wrote his last album about a man. Well, yes, hasn't he always been gay? No. Yes, but he still won't label himself LOL. I think it's cool of him. Oh, okay, got it. I'm always weary about the discussion because I don't like to assume people's sexuality, but simultaneously we need more queer actors in mainstream. No, that's the thing. It's just with bottoms, it's like it's not just one person. So statistically speaking, it's like this is a ridiculous ratio at that point. You know what I mean? It's not just a regular um general public movie with one to two characters that are queer. This is a movie that's about a couple of queer girls who are starting a fight club to get girls. And the cast is this optics wise straight is a lot is a lot. Identifies as a virgin girl. Identifies is crazy. Charlie XCX is annoying. There, I said it. Oh yeah, I can't stand Charlie. Sorry to say. I know that she has like cred, street cred with the gays, but sorry guys. I first of all, her music has always been dumb. Like it's a good music. Musically, it's fun. I like it. I've liked her for a long time since Vroom Vroom EP, I guess. But then outside of it, I think um just her behavior, she's not very smart. Her lyrics, ugh. But on top of it all, I just really cannot stand like just what she stands for, what she believes in, and other things like that. Like there was a video, I need to show it to you because it like pissed me off when I saw it for real, dude. um this was so dumb. I was literally like, fuck you, actually. Holy shit. Okay, let me see. Let me share it with you real quick. Um,
Avoid the girls' bathroom in clubs. I always just like sneak into the men's because there's no line and there's no like drama and annoying like you know. So I'm more just like push through with a bestie and like get it done and get out. I actually avoid the girls' bathroom in clubs.
did you guys hear that? I mean, I'm taking her credit away. She's annoying. I'm tired of musicians writing songs only about fame. Shut up. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, same. Like, for example, Fame is a Gun, a really good song by Addison Rae. Like, I like the song. But it's this dumbest shit ever, especially in this day and age. At the end of the capitalist rope, you're going to be writing this garbage? Fine, bitch. Like, fuck off, honestly. Ew. Straight up ew. Why do I feel that way about Billie Eyelash? Eyelash is crazy. Maddie Healy is poison. She has bi vibes. Who? Charlie? Charlie is the straightest bitch ever. Even culturally, like she might be like, oh my god, look at the gays. This is the most backwards thinking, old school girl who does not know, does not have never even heard of intersectionality. Like this is the dumbest you could be. Hi Lionesses, I'm back. Oh hey empty. LOL, Billy and Charlie did have that collab song. Oh yeah. Not the shade, sorry. Sorry. I'm kind of over a lot of artists right now in general, but I have never been super attached. Yeah, me too. But that's the thing. I think that I'm like annoyed because of their behavior. Their behavior is really getting on my fucking nerves, for real. Um, whoa, Charlie, so many people who have genders would be so fucking happy to have that privilege. Who have genders? Girl, what? I've heard bad things about her and FKA Twigs. Yeah, yeah, me too. Maybe it's just me, but I've never experienced drama in women's bathrooms at clubs. Me neither. What is she talking about? Genuinely, what drama are you fucking talking about? Who would want to go into men's bathroom too? It's the dirtiest place around with everyone just whipping their dicks out in front of urinals. Why would you want to be there? Why would you want to be there? Even as a guy, why would you want to be there? I genuinely wonder if agents and people in the industry caution young people to stay closeted or, at the least, mysterious. Conservatives are so vicious and actors don't have much power in the industry. I think so, but I think that it also depends on what kind of crowd they're going for, right? If they're going for kind of Berlin-esque club music and this is their style of music, they will actually benefit from proximity to queerness, which isn't great. This is very much like capitalist speak, but that's how they operate. Pick me final boss, insane. Like, that's so tone deaf. Exactly. In this day and age, she's still, dude, how many years has it been of people challenging this pick me ass behavior, of people talking shit about it? And it's not like she lives in a place and speaks a language where there's like a huge barrier in terms of understanding these things, where she would be behind in terms of this type of conversation because she's so isolated. This bitch has been traveling. She's been an Anglophone her entire life, not any other phone, that's for sure. Had money this entire time, could have been fucking studying or doing something with her time instead of being a dumb bitch, but she's not doing any of it. God damn, it's so annoying. What do we think of Cat's Eye, by the way? I can't stand them, actually. Love the girls. I I don't think I do because I don't like that they say one thing, they do another. They're under Scooter Braun, and they Hybe affiliation with North American Hybe is very much the state that shall not be named affiliated. Don't want to don't want anything to do with them. They're not worth it in terms of like just paying even attention to them because like yeah, they dance well. Now what? How is that special at this point? With all of these groups out there, it's just not that interesting. The closest to gay she gets is her proximity to Troye Sivan. Exactly. Exactly. And Troye Sivan himself, like, being from South Africa, having ties to, like, Australia, the things that he has ties to, I don't like that. Not just those countries, I just mean, like, he's definitely got other things. I would have to, like, look it up, not to uh, spread misinformation, but there was some shit about his parents and like his ancestry. I was like, ugh. I saw a Twitter post on Instagram where they put Billy in queer icons. I hope they were joking because putting her in the same vein as Marsha B. Johnson is crazy work. No, that's literally nuts. I'm sorry, that's crazy. Also, didn't Billie Eilish was like, didn't she say, "Oh, I'm like bi or some shit," and then she took it back, being like, "You guys, why would you even think that?" That was something weird like that had happened, and I was like, "Girl, what is with you?" Sometimes we all should only listen to Enter Shikari and people like them. I don't know who Enter Shikari is. Am I behind? Am I missing out? Am I missing out, you guys? Um, is it good? Tell me. Um, Charlie is annoying and shallow. Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited in hater mode now. Just had to say it. All these modern pop stars are low key fucking stupid. I mean, yeah. You think like you find a girly who's like a art pop type deal, and you think you found this alt interesting writer, songwriter, whatever. And then you realize, damn, she's just like really good at pretending to have a brain. That's crazy. It's very disappointing, to be honest, because I really love that type of music and I love the intellectual music genre, but they make it real hard to like give a fuck when there are such disgusting people. Also, isn't Addison Rae MAGA? I think she might not be currently. I think she probably was. And even if she's not currently, it's only because she is benefiting so much from the gay people around her, from like the queer people around her, in terms of actually developing a style and having more of a artistic flair to her pop music. Um, she's definitely she was like hanging out. I remember that she wanted to like say hello to Trump, and she was like, "I wouldn't be able to like live with myself if I didn't say hello to you." That was like a really long time ago, maybe like 2020 or some shit. And then I think afterwards there was like a period of time for 2 to 3 years where she was just partying in LA, meeting people, and she made this like, like she kind of permeated into the queer circles and started to get a little bit more of this like natural kind of a rapport that you have with people in the arts, and a lot of them are queer, where you talk about how something works in terms of pop culture and in terms of the effects that you can have on the pop culture, how you could get there by referencing or not referencing something, the styles of music that you can go into, people like producers that you can reach out to. So I think she benefited so heavily from them and surrounds herself with them because she can see that it's working for her, to the point where she's kind of like, like she's just benefiting from them. I don't think that she's genuinely any better. Maybe kind of like that stereotype of, how Americans are always saying that, oh, you're like you're liberal when you're a kid, or like when you're young, and then you become a Republican or conservative later in life. I don't know that, because both of them are right-wing ideologies to begin with. But second of all, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because like I was not raised by a bunch of bitches. Like I was not raised by a bunch of backboneless hoes. I was raised by people who actually had convictions and knew and understood the way that things function and had actual opinions on it. Where are the Mitski stands? Okay, so I need to tell you a story real quick. It's not really a story that as much as like, basically I was staying at my assistant's place and I had the weirdest dreams while I was there, because the thing is I don't actually have dreams that often for some reason. I don't know, dude. Or I don't remember them. Regardless, I had such a freaky ass dream, and that was, fuck, when was that? That was like, fuck, I don't know, December. I don't know, when was the last time I went to Vancouver? It was a while ago, like a few months ago. Um, and that was before Mitski announced her new album. Okay. And the thing is, by the way, I don't follow Mitski. I know only a couple of her songs because they were popular, and I'm sure that I'm gonna like really like her if I listen to her stuff and whatever. It's just I never got to it. It's not like nothing more than that. But girl, um, when I was staying there, I had a dream and it was so weird. I had to write it down. I literally have it in my notes because it made me, first of all, it made me laugh because it was just like so fucking weird. But then on top of it all, it low key kind of became true, but not exactly. Be really fucked up if it actually came true fully. That would be just a disaster. But let me find it because I literally wrote it down and then read it to my assistant later in the day when both of us woke up again. Um, where's, okay, actually, let me just look up Mitski. Mitski. Okay, here. So there was supposed to be a really bad tornado, okay? That at first manifested as huge jellyfish and then a massive black smoke skeleton that was like walking through shit, you know? We were like, what the fuck? How is that a tornado? A massive smoke skeleton? That doesn't make any sense. The skeleton went through the house and possessed me. It turns out that it was a PR stunt for Mitski's new album, and I won participation in it to get rid of that possession that effectively made me into a grim ripper. I was supposed to be walking around and like literally taking souls and getting them over the river Styx. To get rid of that job and to finally not have to do any of this shit, I was supposed to do things and live tweeted. She basically made me into a grim ripper, and the only way I could stop doing this involuntary job is if I promoted her album the entire way up until the release. You heard it here first. She's an exploitator, an exploitative uh, employer. Didn't Rina Sawayama spoke out against 1975 and Charlie sided with them instead of Rina? Yes. Yeah. Uh, Me and girls change room not because misogyny and because Christian guild. Hmm? Yes, Maya, we did because look who's under Corky. Yeah. Yes, Charlie will choose Maddie over everything. He used to date FKA, and allegedly she was vile about FKA when she spoke out about Twig's abuse from Shia. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Maya lost the title guessing game for Olivia. My guess was Love Struck. I always said Cat's Eye should be a dance group instead of singers. Yeah. Troy has connections. Why the fuck was he on YouTube pretending to be dating Tyler Oakley then? For the love of the game, I guess. Well, he was literally in X-Men when he was like 3 or some shit. Like he's always been in movies and whatever. They have some kind of connections. No way. No, that's Mr. Collins. Whoa, Billy, not surprised though. Remember who also took it back? Jojo Siwa. Oh my god, did she take it back fully? Like she's a straighty now? Straight up? Karma's a bitch. I should have known better. If Troy Sivan is South African, his ancestors were definitely involved in sketchy-ish. I say this as a South African. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not even ancestors because like the Palantir guy, Peter, no, maybe he's not a Palantir. I think he is Palantir. Peter Thiel grew up in this South African city or town where you still like they still zig heiled in the 1970s. That's nuts. God, I wish I knew this type of shit growing up cuz fucking hell. The West is really something. Jojo is so young though. I feel bad. Leave her alone. Compulsory heterosexuality is a hell of a drug. Yeah, but she's also just like so over the top with it in general. It's kind of crazy. Like maybe slow down, go think about it. You don't have to announce every single time you like have a change of heart. Maybe go take a little break. Just in general, subculture is bonkers and should not exist. I mean, look at where it got us. Enter Shikari are openly leftist and their lyrics are mostly about that. Maybe not everyone's genre, but the texts are good. Ooh, okay. Okay, last Charlie statement. I keep seeing her fans expecting her to be this paragon of virtue, and she clearly has no interest in being that. And I think it's time we all stop expecting goodness. I don't think, honestly, I don't think people expect goodness from her. It's just like a lot of people who follow her are the type of people who think that everything is a bit. People who would be in like people who listen to podcasts like the Red Scare. By the way, it pisses me off that they have that name because they're just have nothing to do with it. They're the most capitalistic, the most like right wing reactionary bitches imaginable. Um, it pisses me off, but they're kind of like her audience is kind of like that anyway. I don't think that they're really expecting her to be good as much as they are really enjoying her. They're just hedonistic, honestly. I don't think they have any fucking morals whatsoever. from these people. They're not good people. Why do we want this performative bullshit from them? I don't know, dude. Um, should we talk about the Chappell Roan thing? Oh yes, Chappell Roan. Let's put her on the screen. At Chappell Roan. Um, so Chappell, she is definitely getting some lashings right now. At first, when I heard about this, the way that people were talking about it was very much just kind of talking about how, like, oh, she was so mean to this kid, whatever the hell. Turns out, first of all, she wasn't really. Second of all, uh, the kid themselves is like some millionaire's kid. So who gives a fuck? It's like they made this whole thing kind of like, oh, the toy didn't want to perform kind of thing, but made her the villain in it somehow. I don't know. She didn't do anything. She, to be honest, gonna be real with you. And also on top of it all, I think this is a very clear smear campaign that is done specifically to basically remove anyone from the public eye who takes any steps in actually opposing anything involving the Epstein class. She left a management company because of their affiliation with the Epstein files. They did not publicize that. That was not common knowledge or knowledge of any kind. Nobody knew that they were involved in this. And when she found out about it, she left them. And then after that, suddenly, every single week, there's something. And there's something that is always done by somebody else who is in her proximity, and she's getting blamed for it. And then everyone is constantly talking about how she's like mean and whatnot. Sounds, I mean, have you noticed that they always talk about how like uh every single queer woman, especially if she's more of a uh lesbian presenting, um she's always the meanest in the public eye. It's always that the type of um criticism that's brought up against them. She's mean. She's mean to kids. She's mean to men. She's mean to these people. She's mean to that. And it's like, what are we, like, is she really though? And even if she is, why is it in fucking headlines? Who gives a shit? And on top of it all, I'm telling you, this is very much not coincidental that as soon as she made that choice to leave that management company, that is a very, very big management company, and genuinely, if you look at anybody who takes even the smallest stance, like the most lukewarm type of stance of just like, oh, I don't want to work with pedos. Have you noticed how people, like, how much they get censored? How suddenly they either get attacked by somebody constantly. Every single week there's something new. Every single week there's someone coming up with a new bullshit to say online. The smear campaigns have become so common to the point where honestly I'm starting to kind of take a step back from those from the reports, and I give it a few days to actually get more information and be able to decide whether this was manufactured or not, because it has gotten to a point where I think this is honestly, this is whichever intelligence organizations are working on the information wars, they are definitely prioritizing this specific approach. Smear campaigns online, creating discourses that are never leading anywhere, a lot of debates that are unproductive, debates about things that are really basic, like debating the meaning of a word, which has already been defined before, a lot of bad faith type of bullshit. It becomes so common that I think that people really need to catch up, you know? when it comes to this. Yeah, but the thing about this drama in quotations with Chappell is not just that this situation happened, because yeah, it is kind of a nothing burger, like Timmy Ballet situation. Um, but in combination with every other recent scandal in quotations that happened, where every single time there's a smear campaign against her all the time, and it's all happening specifically because she does take a stance first on Palestine and then on Epstein. It's not a coincidence, you guys. Let's be fucking real. Dreams during sleepovers are so wild. I don't know why, but it's true. Lisa saw prophetic dreams about Mitski. I saw a dream. Shane and Ryan from Unsolved quit Watcher and YouTube by uploading a video of them flipping the camera off. Listen. LOL, what the heck was that? That was a cool dream. It was so weird. Lisa used to have apocalypse dreams almost every night. Yeah, I did actually. I don't know what was wrong with me. Um, from JoJo Siwa care packages to Mitski dream promos. Listen. maybe actually Mitski did reach out to me in my dreams. Maybe she did actually curse me and I had to lift that curse by promoting her new album. Maybe that's what it was exactly. Life is Strange, Lisa's journey. No, straight up. I'm so behind on the chat. Isn't that fucking insane? I keep yapping. Damn. This reminds me of how my friend stopped liking Beyonce after having a dream of her yelling at my friend at work. Listen, I stopped liking Beyonce when I realized that, well, she's just such a capitalist. Also, same with Jay-Z. And then when I realized that Jay-Z cheated on her and she stayed with him when she released Lemonade, I was so into Lemonade. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. And then I was like, ugh, ew, bitch, you stayed with him? What's wrong with you? And then after that, I realized I was like looking at what Jay-Z was doing and how like he would say that he would like, put in money into some neighborhoods, like black neighborhoods or whatever the hell. But then when you listen to his lyrics and everything, he is so not, he's a class traitor to black people in America. And I was like, I don't like you anymore. I don't think. Thank you very much. And they keep on referencing Black Panthers and Malcolm X when they're like little bitches that literally have nothing to do with those people who were real ones. And on top of it all, referencing this shit while at the same time then making that those t-shirts that were like those cowboys or something, those African Americans who were catching indigenous populations or something like that for white people as like, what was it? Actually, I need to look it up. Beyonce. That was so fucked. Um, yeah, so here it is. Let me actually screen share it with you because it's fucked, honestly. Uh, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, you can fuck yourself, actually. I can't stand you. Oh my God. Just saying anything, doing anything. Okay. Let me actually put it right here like this. I don't know, dude. We're not going to be using this page for a long time, so I'm not doing this. Fans criticized Beyonce for a shirt calling Native Americans the enemies of peace. This was from June 29th, 2025. A t-shirt worn by Beyonce during a Juneteenth performance on her Cowboy Carter tour has sparked discussions over how Americans frame their history and caused a wave of criticism for the Houston-born superstar. The t-shirt worn during a concert in Paris featured images of the Buffalo Soldiers, who belonged to the Black U.S. Army units active during the late 1800s and early 1900s. On the back was a lengthy description of the soldiers that included their antagonists were the enemies of peace, order, and settlement, warring Indians, bandits, cattle thieves, murderous gunmen, boodle, boodle, bood, boodle, bood, boodlegers? Fuck, I don't know what that is. Trespassers and Mexican revolutionaries. Images of the shirt and videos of the performance are also featured on Beyonce's website. There were 6 military units created after the Civil War in 1866. They were comprised of formerly enslaved men, free men, and black Civil War soldiers and fought in hundreds of conflicts, including the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, until they were disbanded in 1951. As the quote on Beyonce's shirt notes, they also fought numerous battles against indigenous people as part of the U.S. Army's campaign of violence and land theft during the country's westward expansion. Um, so they were just like traitors, basically. Traitors of their class, traitors of their people, traitors of anything decent. Why the fuck would she do? In any case, she literally. The thing is, I don't think she just wore that shirt. I think that shirt was like her merch. What the fuck? Just ignore that. Anyway. Also, her just like trying to make the American flag cool and other things like that. Like, whatever you say about like Russia and whatever the fuck, I growing up didn't know anyone who was like this about the flag. I think it's so fucking creepy. And whenever I pass by someone's house and they have a flag in their window or on their like at their door or something, are you a fucking embassy? Why is this here? Weird. Sorry to say. Anyway, uh there's still all white towns here, which is terrifying. Yeah, this is creepy, you guys. This is not normal. I don't know what the fuck happened in those places. I mean, I do know what happened, but I'm just saying, like, it's just so deranged. I 100% believe the now deleted TikTok account that started the hate train against Chappell was secretly her ex label. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Chappell's music is not good. I don't really listen to her, but I think her voice is pretty good, but I don't know her catalog that well to be commenting on it, to be honest. I was watching a video that was talking about an iCarly episode that was ridiculous, straight up bullying Britney last night, and all I would think about was how valid Chappell is, so valid for how she acts around the paparazzi, and I hate how she gets hate for it. They want this performative goodness because everything they consume becomes a part of their personality, and they view how they act as some reflection of their moral standing. Maybe they deserve the meanness. Maybe. um, she needs a PR team. I don't know if she has one because this is crazy. Um, I think she probably does, but this is a clear effort by someone who's got a lot of money. Like the Epstein class obviously have a shit ton of money. No need to be hateful in your fake Gucci sweater at Chapel. Oh, see Chapel. Interesting. Haven't heard that. They always say care for the children, yet allow for environments where children are exploited and abused. Yeah. I gotta say though, in this day and age, it's hard to feel bad for someone whose biggest problem is paparazzi. It's genuinely grating. Oh yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that she should be talking about it that much, as much as she does. And also, she has enough money now to have security and stuff like that, and to actually not have them follow her around. At this point, like, do you see Zendaya get fucking papped this much? No, but she's arguably more not popular, but more famous than Chapel is. So I really think that this she needs to just deal with it security team. I appreciate when you or reporters like Kat Ten Barge and Taylor Lawrence beat the drum of why is this woman being attacked now? Why are only women called mean? Yeah, Blake Lively's smear campaign is actually insane, and it's sad how it's mostly women encouraging it. Yeah, every time I see somebody, and the thing is, I hate the fashion from It Ends With Us. I hate it. Truly horrific. But every time I see that girl who, well, not girl, like that woman on TikTok who makes videos of just like parodying her and stuff like that, I just fucking scroll because, bitch, not in this environment. Bitch, not in this environment. Not in the post Amber Heard world. Like, don't fucking piss me off. Even at the beginning of her career, people were so weird towards Chappell. I never thought the lesbian jokes were funny. What kind of jokes were they? I don't remember them. I always assumed it was pronounced Chappell. Is it? Do you think that any publicity is good publicity? I don't know what to think about that. Uh, I don't know. I guess depends on what your goal is. Um, to be famous, who gives a fuck? Honestly, at this point, who gives a fuck about fame? Opinions on Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey, a right winger who thinks she's not a right winger because she has some uh, space in her heart for some of her favorite gays. She thinks that's gonna absolve her of her other bullshit. She says she's an anarchist, which is a really funny thing to be at her age. Um, I understand it if you're an anarchist at the age of like 17, maybe 19 at the latest. After that, you're gonna have to fucking get serious. After that, you're gonna have to figure out the fact that this like having no military is not going to work for protecting interests of people who are standing against forces that will use violence and believe in using violence. This is just like some child's play type of situation. Like, you could be an anarchist until you are 20 years old. After that, I think you need to grow up. Zara promoting the AI covers on TikTok again. I can't defend her anymore. What is with her and fucking AI? I swear to God, Zara, she's pretty based in other ways, so like, let it go, girl. Don't ruin your fucking reputation. Yeah, there are a lot of black YouTubers who are discussing the problems with black capitalists, and I'm glad. Yeah, and they're right about it, because not everyone in your group, even if you have every identification in common, right? Not everyone in your group is going to be your comrade. My favorite streamer is Caroline Kwan. She's a pop culture justice warrior. She's the best. I should check her out. I haven't been. That's the thing. Where does she stream? No such thing as ethical pop girly. Oh my god, maybe someone here saw Heartbreak High. Last season was chaotic, but still fun. No, I haven't. Oh yes, those shirts were. I was appalled. I always wonder, do celebs ever think about anything before they try to sell products? I think she's doing it very purposefully. Her and Jay-Z are on that American nationalism, capitalist dick day and night, riding it hard. This is just what we're gonna have to like accept. Like, not every single person who you would think would be based, because they have their identity, like their labels in quotations, their experiences of how they grew up, technically should have given them so much perspective. It doesn't always work, unfortunately. Like, for example, even if we look at actual revolutionaries like Lenin, for example, he was not working class. I think maybe he was technically, no, I don't think he was, but he's technically had a completely different life. Could have just lived in comfort and not did all the things that he's done, right? But he knew it was wrong, so he went against it. And that's kind of the thing with everybody. Like, sometimes you have the background to become something, to become someone great, to become someone who understands people really well, because you've got so much experience that already should have been shaping you as a person, but you just simply do not give a fuck to listen to it or to internalize it. I'm gonna clean my room while Lisa catches up on chat. Exactly. Same thing I felt when I saw a new Pitbull song. Covers are all AI. Mr. Pitbull, you ask 150 euros for a ticket, yet you can't pay the designers. That's the thing. It's like Mr. Worldwide. Ew. How about that? Anyway, if anyone is number one in chat, then no one is. What the heck are we talking about? She took the cowboy aesthetic too literal, exactly. While we're kind of on that, on it, have you guys seen BTS's "This Is Not a Bomb" bag? Yes, and what the fuck was that about? What the hell were they thinking? What? Why? Okay, BTS. This is not. This is so dumb too. Just why? What the hell? Dude, I genuinely just like. Is anyone thinking? Ever? It's a light stick bag. So, okay. Right. So, this bag, clearly, this is probably, considering the phrasing, right? Probably a reference to "This is not a pipe," which is "Ceci n'est pas une pipe." "Ceci n'est pas une pipe." I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, dude. I'm always like, with French, I'm like, ooh, did I do that right? But let me see. Image. So this is what they probably were referencing. It's kind of like this artwork that talks about the treachery of images. It's not really treachery of images, it's just the reality of the fact that whatever you draw, right? For example, a pipe, like here, that you can smoke out of or whatever, it's never gonna actually be a pipe. It's a representation of it, right? So clearly by the phrasing, we're supposed to kind of we're supposed to kind of assume that what they're going for here is kind of a reference to that shit. Why do I have two of those? Damn, dude. Anyway, so this is their like light stick, whatever, light stick bag. Why do you need a light stick bag? Goddamn fucking idiots! I swear to God, BTS pissed me off recently. I just can't deal with them. Anyway, "This is not a bomb." Clearly, probably a reference to that by the phrasing. But that's so idiotic because the bag does not look like a bomb. It doesn't. That doesn't work just conceptually speaking, visually speaking, the parallels. If you are reference, Pika! My God, you guys. If you're referencing an artwork that has a very clear visual language, and especially those ones that are very, very iconic, like this, like the "Ceci n'est pas une pipe," you kind of have to be one-to-one in the parallel department. So for example, the bag would have to look like a bomb, and then it could say it's not a bomb on it, and then it would at least conceptually be one-to-one, be a clear reference and a clear artwork that kind of, continuing the idea here or whatever the fuck. But it's still dumb. Hello? Like, this is just inconsiderate. We're literally in the beginning stages of World War III, and you want to be doing this dumb shit? What is wrong with you? What is going on? On top of it all, God, this is just like, it just makes no sense. It's just dumb as shit. Like, seriously, on so many levels, whatever. Streets are saying Manon was fired from Cat's Eye. yeah, I think they had some kind of conflict, and I think that like based on what Manon was saying, it seems like it was something race related. Um, Bay seems to care for POC like Taylor cares for feminism. Exactly, like literally 1-to-1 for real. Um, Bootleggers, lol, essentially smugglers of alcohol and other black market items. Oh, got it. But we should be proud of America, least racist country on earth. We are perfect over here. Elliot?
Do you by chance have a gun I could borrow?
It's not a bomb merch. Having armies defending it is crazier. What the fuck? What did they even say? What could they possibly say to defend this for real? As an American, I just never understood why Americans romanticize time periods filled with so much violence. Yeah, no, it's dumb as shit. It's straight up dumb. Even conceptually, like even in terms of like, if you like the ideology, right? It's so idiotic because like, oh, it's liberty, freedom, yada yada. For whom? You like the founding fathers who were saying all that shit while they enslaved somebody? That doesn't make any sense. But armies are the new barbs. Yeah. Actually, kinda, yeah, I guess. I've heard some people say everything has been downhill in America since women got to vote. Well, those people need to be shot. Straight up. Concepts of those outfits coming from Gigi Hadid and Blake's personal wardrobe. I wouldn't say that if I were them. Yeah, no, same. I remember when our school once put the old South African flag with the current one. It was removed after that. I didn't know what it meant until my parents had the conversation about apartheid. Oh, is it like kind of like the Confederate flag in America type deal? It's the myth of great past, so also post-war politics uh, were socialistic. Then Reagan ruined it all with free market bullshit. Yeah, not Reagan. Reagan, everything goes back to that motherfucker. I was in primary school when it happened. Yeah, I'm doing. Loving the stream. I'm sick and it's a good distraction. Oh, get better, dude.
Yeah!
My sis was biggest BTS stan for almost a decade and now she prays for their deaths daily. That's crazy, dude. Not deaths. That's insane. I think it might be a universal experience, at least in the same. It's the same for some Russians obsessed with royals. Yeah, I mean, even with royals and stuff like that, we never had. That's the thing that a lot of Europeans, especially Eastern Europeans, need to get through their heads. It's how bad chattel slavery was. We cannot conceptualize that type of shit because a lot of us like to complain, but we've never experienced anything anywhere similar to that. We have never experienced anything like this. Dude, they ate them here. I like the amount of shit, like you genuinely need to go read about what Americans were doing to black people here. It's so beyond what you like, whatever we think is already inhumane, insane, disgusting. Genuinely, when I fucking, because the thing is, I knew about slavery obviously, but I didn't know that it was so much worse here until I learned about it on my own. And I was like, because someone told me, they were like, yeah, like they literally were cannibals, and I was like, huh, huh. They were like, yeah, they ate black people, and I'm like, huh. And like they weren't joking, not even joking, they weren't exaggerating. That's what I mean. You would think that a country that has duped everyone into thinking that they providing freedom and this American dream to people or whatever would at least be, if it's like evil, it would be on the level of evil of every other country. But this is like beyond that. It's like Nazi type shit from World War II, except multiplied by 100, because it was 100 times longer. It wasn't 4 years of insanity with like stuff on either side of that time period. It was literally 400 years. Don't even fucking start me on this because it's like always creeping me the fuck out. Uh, they at least should have made a bag with "This is not a dynamite." Still, this is the type of bag that's gonna cause so much trouble. Just like, can you imagine going in like a metro station with that? Even Trotsky was somewhat rich, I think. Yeah, well, although it's been a while since an episode was dropped, but I would recommend Ole and Friends for pop culture. Ole and Friends? Ole and Friends. Hmm. Okay. At least they have a song or something with dynamite in it. Yeah, at least it would make some sense. But it's still, this is just in an army green color and everything. Just, it's just not great. Their light stick is army bomb, so that's why I guess. But like time and place, yeah, yeah, no.
Time and place. And you did it at my birthday dinner.
Also, the brand they worked with is a Zio brand for another layer of this. Did you see the state that shall not be named posting gas chamber that they're gonna use? Like they're not, like they're genuinely just posting it on their like official Twitter accounts and stuff like that. That sucks to see women getting so much hate for just being women. Fandom of hating women, and Caroline Kwan streams on Twitch. Oh, let me see. Maybe I know Caroline Kwan. Have I seen her? I feel like I haven't. I don't know. Um, Cecina pound brain cells to make such a joke reference in these times. Exactly. Male K-pop was overrated, LMAO. Yeah, no, I don't listen to any male K-pop. Oh, well, I do listen to some Kai. I used to listen to some NCT. Now I've lost interest in them too. Especially after Taeil. No, thank you. That's it. We are in World War III. It is an economic war on the rich, of the rich against us. Not just economic, right? Because yes, it's economic, but also like it clearly is killing us. At least I fear they're too stupid for such a joke. Yeah. When I think of Avery Rung, I think of the "Baby You Remind Me" electronic voice that is circulating online, and I laugh. Civil War reenactions, Musa falling. Not, no, seriously. It's kind of insensitive. They have a bag referencing a bomb in this time. What the fuck? Exactly. Why? Oh, dude. Anyone read any books about the discourse of separating or not, the art from the artist, or anything similar? I'm reading Monsters by Claire Didier, but I want to read more about it. So I have actually made a podcast episode on this. Maybe there's actually a couple from like different type of perspectives, but I have talked about it before because I kind of wanted to address the fact that yes, there's like a lot of assholes who are like really big artists, and I talk about it and I always kind of dog on them, but I also talked about how we can take things from them and leave them behind, kind of. It's a little bit of a longer discussion. Let me actually find it and show you what it looks like, I guess. Yeah, it's this episode called let me okay, let me share it just so you could see it properly. But yeah, this episode, it's It is called We Separated the Art from the Author and Now They're Dead. And there's kind of a discussion with, first of all, we talk about the red shoes there, but also we talk about Roland Barthes' essay, The Death of the Author, that specifically talks about like kind of how oh my god. Did you see that? How is Charlie Kirk horrible? Fucking hell. You want to get smacked or something? Genuinely. Like, why is are you tired of living? Why are you provoking everybody? I genuinely just don't understand. Whatever. Basically, you can watch that episode. I explain a lot of my thoughts on it there. Confederate flag isn't about slavery. It's the rebel flag student in my high school who drew it on everything. Ew. Holy fuck. I've not heard the full album, but the fact that you can hear so many black artists' music styles and identities getting robbed and glued together into something so corny and soulless. Yeah. Yeah, my schoolmates were obsessed with Tolstoy while being non-binary lesbian and obsessed with Royal Russia. Dude. Well, listen, okay. There are ways of engaging with things like Tolstoy, for example, without being ridiculous. But if you love them this much and you love the royals this much and you love the aristocracy this much, etc., yeah, you're a fucking freak. On top of it all, being non-binary and lesbian and being like that, like, bitch, I need you to get it together. I'm begging for somebody to get their shit together. Good lord. My deaf history teacher is coming in here. Literally, the Nazis ripped their eugenics program off of ours, specifically California. Yes, I actually talked about it in the origins, occult roots of fascism. I think I mentioned specifically like the breeding thing that was going on in California, where they were like looking for the best stock and like had competitions over it. Hitler even admitted to taking the US as an inspiration for his ideal Germany. Yep. They also took inspiration for the camps, for concentration camps, from Canada. Damn, the YouTube chat is super delayed today, huh? Oh, fuck. Oh, pretty girl, you like beaches. Fucking yes. Actually, that album came out when I was going through chemo. And to be fair, okay, so first of all, it came out when I was going through chemo. I really loved that album. It was really hitting for me at that time. And I was like, listening to it, and I was kind of like, damn, like maybe I'm gonna be able to still have some good days while going through chemo, because I was kind of like thinking, this shit, I don't even know if I'm gonna have any good days anymore. And then that day I had like a really good day because like I was just enjoying the album. I was not feeling that bad. To be fair, that was, I think, after my first infusion. So I didn't know what was coming. I didn't know that it's like cumulative, you know? I didn't know that chemo gets harder and harder with each time. Yeah, anyway. You'll love her too, Lisa, former defense attorney, Ole, current abolitionist and movement lawyer. She's got 7 YouTube channels at this point. Olurinati is her main. Why does she have 7? Why does she have 7 channels? What for? Olurinati. Oh, I know her. You should have told me that it's this. I watched her Olurinati pop, like her analysis of characters and stuff like that. And I know she's done some episodes that are kind of podcast-ish with another YouTuber that I watch. Damn, what is her name though? Girl. What's with my memory? I can never remember anything. Literally insane. How is it always just like slipping through? Um, doesn't it start with? I think it starts with a K. Kenny. I think. Fuck. If you guys know, put it in chat. I hate April Fools. Like, we in World War III. Be serious right now. Who cares about April Fools? Exactly. Not the Charlie Kirk pop out thing. No, seriously, fuck. Like, people just piss me off, dude. That's why I'm always like, please leave a like and like comment something normal. Because people who are crazy like this, they will dislike the video. They will report you and they will leave nasty comments and find you and other things like that. So you kind of have to like, to not get entirely blocked from everything, you need like some kind of counterweight. Lisa basically caught up to the live chat. Yes, almost. Ooh. America pioneering everything, even eugenics. Girl. With Arirang, there have been discussions about BTS referencing HBCU culture and discussions about appropriation. Yeah, there was a lot. I saw it on TikTok. I like the declaration from the Iranian government yesterday that they don't blame America's citizens, just the evil Mango Man baby inciting World War III. True, but also like America always talks about the fact that, well, why don't people just revolt? So maybe you guys should do it. That way, other people, other smaller countries that don't have such a huge military would have a chance to actually have their revolution stick. I saw the Howard U thing where they did not show any black students. Oh my god, yes! What the fuck was that about? Those guys just trying to glaze the like white people every single fucking day of the week. Lisa, can you JD watch her slay? Yeah, I've been watching her since her K-pop days. Can you imagine how long it's been since her first, like, well, K-pop is like kind of strange to say. I guess it was more like K-beauty. She was doing K-beauty stuff. Remember that? How long ago was that? Fucking 10 years ago or some shit? Grew up in super woke Portland and still surrounded by racists and sexists. Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? So fucking annoying, holy shit. Like,
Do you by chance have a gun I could borrow?
just saying. Just saying. Did I miss something? Did anyone ask a question that I didn't address? I wouldn't be fucking surprised. It happens to me a lot. I remember her Korean vlog story times. Yeah, she like speaks Korean and stuff like that, right? I think she studied it in university. I said Lisa's my favorite streamer. So yeah, so what do you guys think we should start playing on Sunday? Anything in particular? Gosh, I'm good. Exactly, dude. Wait.
Gosh, I'm good.
Yeah. Something you can run on the Mac? Well, everything that I have, I can run. I don't just have Mac, I have a PC as well. Like I run what's the name of the fucking game? Cabernet off of my PC. I came in through her Bad Movies in the Beat. Yeah. That was her like probably second phase. Play the new Life is Strange games with Max and Chloe. I was thinking about that because I feel like maybe it's gonna bring some new people in too who like this game. Night in the Woods or Oxenfree. I actually put them also in my buy cart. That's what it is. I need violent white incels to step up and direct that violence at Trump. Exactly. Be useful. Dude, you want violence? You can get it, brother. Just direct it in the right direction. Damn. I don't know if anyone asked since I joined late, but are there any more updates on the Wink Sims 3 LP? I don't mean to rush, just curious. That's the thing. So I actually wrote 2 episodes already. Wrote as in like I usually play, and because I play a lot, well, I haven't played in a while, but whenever I do play, I play for a while. I don't like recording the entire time because the files become too big, so I just kind of film whenever something interesting is happening, and then I write it down. Um, Wait, what did you say? Oh, okay, well, see you Saturday. Gotta go to a museum. Oh, have fun. Um, so I think so. We have 2 options, okay? One option is whenever I'm gonna actually finish editing it, or I can do it live and I can show you the moments um, and kind of comment while we go along, because I have like full on scripts and stuff like that of like what happens, and I can show you the moments. But I don't know. Do you want it to be like a video, or do you want us to go through it live? I don't know what you want. Anyway, um, stop worrying about looks maxing and be Mario to our Luigi. Ah, yes. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Anyway, how to stop getting angry all the time about everything that's going on in the world. Um, I don't think you should stop. I think you should direct it, because I don't think it's gonna work. Like, because the thing is, to stop feeling this way when the reality is as it is to lie to yourself, and is to gaslight yourself, and is to lie about what is the reality of things around you. And it's just not, I don't think it's gonna be productive. What I think needs to be done, to be honest, this is something that I'm trying to accept, and it's really hard to accept because it's just not fun. And we talked about it with my assistant again yesterday. I've said that every single day I kind of have to have a moment of just accepting the fact that the ideas of what success is in this world, the path to even average life, just average success, is paved with a lot of decisions that are very unsavory, and not unsavory in the sense of you have to like suffer or work or whatever, but unsavory in the sense of you actually having to become a dickhead and subscribe to things that suck so much ass. Like, if you can't report on Gaza without the entirety of European Union cutting off your credit cards, your bank systems, and leaving you and your family to starve like they did with a journalist recently, they didn't even say much except just report on what is going on. Just straight up just said what's happening. And they've been harshly like treated this harshly, right? So you're kind of in a position where you have to accept the fact that in a world that's built by the Epstein class, by the capitalists, you being a good person is a slight to them. Or you just being a neutral person who's not a dickhead is a slight to them. Do you understand? And in that case, in that regard, we kind of have to accept the fact that there is, especially with the way that the economy, the wars are going, and especially also the environment, the way that it's affected, and the way that we're running out of clean water and stuff, we have to accept the fact that there's only 2 paths forward. It's either revolution or it's extinction within pretty tight timelines, definitely within our lifetime for sure. So the worst part about this is that you kind of have to accept the fact that we're not going to have a good time. We're not going to have like, for example, I wish I inherited the USSR in the 70s. I wish that was my time that I could have lived in. But instead, I'm living in these end times of one regime right before the dawn of another, which is not going to be a pretty experience, especially for people who are just regular people, right? When I was talking about this with my assistant, she was like, yeah, like we're not going to be, because I told her, I was like, we're not privileged enough to not get affected by this, right? But I was saying that when the gears are going to start turning, there's no way in hell that we're not going to get like crushed in the gears. And she was kind of being like, well, yeah, there's no way we're not going to get affected. But I think that she thought about it as in like, it's going to be just like regular stuff. It's not going to be regular stuff. As in regular, like, oh, less stuff to eat or something like that, or like you're just gonna have to struggle a little bit here or there. I genuinely don't think that it's gonna be like that, because I think she has an idea of us being a bit more privileged than we actually are. But basically, the only way you can feel better about this situation is if you channel the anger into making sure that that class, the Peter Thiels of the world, don't actually end up following through with their plans entirely. They already are following through with them right now, but they can still be stopped. And even if it creates mutual destruction, it's better that we destroy them than we leave them to actually continue being overlords in this world that they don't deserve to even be in. And basically what I'm saying is, try and find a job that is more fulfilling, that's not a fake job, or try to collect as many things that could be useful later on. Learn how to plant things. Learn basics of upkeeping structures like rewiring shit, plumbing. Try to create community with like-minded people. Try and find people who are like-minded with you. Because when we accept that this is not the right way to live, or not like that we deserve better, even if we will get crushed in the process, at the very least we'll be living honestly up until that point. And also, it might not gonna be that bad if we organize real well. Is that too optimistic? I don't know. Promotion for Patreon, cough cough. What remains of Edith Finch or Nancy Drew Treasure in the Royal Tower? Interesting. How about any Telltale games? They are like Life is Strange. You can play the Walking Dead series. Telltale games. Is that what this genre is called? Telltale? Interesting. I think I said it earlier, but I'm really jealous of people who can't get angry. Can get angry. Life made me very numb about everything. Yeah, get angry. What remains of Edith Finch? Lisa, does Canada have strong leftist organizations or parties, communist, socialists, etc., that can consistently organize strikes and or reach out to people in need? So what I've been kind of learning recently, at least, met somebody this like native guy who I need to ask him about the organization. There's apparently some kind of organization that meets in Vancouver that is like a communist organization, and I think that they are growing recently. So I'll let you know when I find more information out about it. Because I need to vet the fact that they're not like ACP and are more like CBUSA. Do you know what I mean? Like if you guys are familiar. Everyone please manifest that I can access ADHD meds. I'm really worried about it. Why? Edith Finch, that game being spammed. Okay. Be there for your community. Share your anger with other people so you can be both productive and have less feelings of doom. Exactly. Don't bury it, and don't pretend that nothing is happening, because everyone's feeling it. Whether you're gonna acknowledge it or not, everyone is feeling it right now. So there's no point in pretending like this isn't happening, because it's just gonna make it more difficult for us to withstand the pressure of material conditions being so ass. Everyone is forced to do some shitty things to exist in this world, unfortunately. Exactly, that's why we're gonna have to fucking destroy it and rebuild it again. There's a European Citizens Initiative about association with Israel. In case there's any Europeans in the stream, they have to discuss it if enough Europeans sign it. Oh, revolution is gonna come eventually, of course, but we need consistent build up to reach there. Thus, organizing and reaching out to other people, being there for people who are struggling is important. Wouldn't be surprised by extinction in the next 100 years. 100? Brother. 30 at most. What do you mean 100? Also, organizing and mutual aid create hope. It's crazy how we're living in the good times sometimes. In good times. Sometimes I think I'd live better life if I cheated the system or wasn't ambitious about my studies and concentrated about getting rich as early as possible. We're not living in good times. What are you talking about? My hope died a long time ago. Have you considered trying VR? No. Yeah, I'm a light at the end of the tunnel sort of hopeful person, but it feels really far. And to encourage others to not become numb to what is going on. Hope is essential, even a little bit. I think that's the thing. The thing is, if there wouldn't have been a Second World War, and if there wouldn't have been so many people burning crops and doing other shit in the post-revolutionary times in like 1920s in Soviet Union, we would have arrived to a really good life a lot sooner. Even through losing a fourth of our population, we managed to go from 28% literacy rates to 98% literacy rates. And from being literally only having shovels to being in space within what? 40 years? 30 years? It's all possible, and it's even possible within our lifetimes. It's the reason why we have this idea that nothing can be done is because we've been conditioned to think that way. Also, just so you know, there only needs to be consent of, I think, a maximum of like 20%, I think, of the population. Just consent. I don't mean that those people need to be the organized core. Just the consent for the revolution to stick and to happen. That was really shocking to me. I think that I need to find exact numbers. I recently read about it, and I was like, that's it? I thought you would need like at least 70 to 80 something percent of people to be supportive and sympathetic to the cause for things to happen, but no. Okay. Finding joy and hope while acknowledging the horrors of this world, not forgetting about them, is honestly the only thing that keeps me going. Yeah, I honestly need to figure out how to move back into the city, back to Vancouver and whatever, just so I could be closer to people, because to me, just having dinners all the time with friends and like constantly seeing them in terms of that in that kind of way is very important. And I honestly am kind of like really, what did I scratch here? Feeling really low on energy all the time because I'm so isolated. I was being generous with 100 and to not sound too doomer. You don't have to sound too doomer. The thing is, we need to just get rid of people like Peter Thiel. That's what we need to do. And then it wouldn't be this dire of a situation. Just shut down all the AI shit. Get rid of all the greedy fuckers. That's it. And they'll be fine. We'll be fine. We don't have to even like be worried about extinction immediately after that. Many forces in our world want us to feel hopeless and insecure in many ways. So our hope, joy, celebration of small wins is a revolt against it. Yeah, 20% sounds crazy small. Exactly. I think it was even maybe smaller than that. That's why it was so shocking to me. Communism sounds cool. Why is the mainstream media hated so much? Like it sounds chill. It's because the mainstream media is created and run by the Epstein class. Obviously. Obviously. What are we even on about here? Let me check. The Twitch chat, or I mean the Twitch side, died down entirely. Anyway, those things are genuinely encouraging to hear. Stubborn hope is what I got these days, but I come from a long line of stubborn people. Yeah, might be propaganda too, but I'm afraid me and other disabled people will get hurt in the most. They hurt the most in revolution situation. It's 90s scare all over again. I think the people who are probably gonna get hurt the most are actually able-bodied people who are gonna be in the streets. But I do think that if it's organized correctly, but the thing is, if you are organizing a group of people, if you have a community of some sort, right? One of the first things that need to be taken care of, one of the first things that need to be accounted for is obviously taking care of children, elderly, and the disabled folk. That's the three groups that need to be accounted for in terms of how do we take care of it. So for example, if you live in an area, it would do a lot of good if you just know which buildings are accessible and which ones aren't. Yes, hello to Aris Spears. Like for example, most of the time, a lot of the disabled folks are going to be, especially those that are like have mobility issues, are going to be on the first floors of the buildings. If there's something going on and a lot of like help and systems like social systems are disrupted, it's good to know where the hospitals are, who in the neighborhood are in the medical system, for example, so you can know where to go to get immediate help if need be. That kind of thing. It's good to know who's in the neighborhood, basically. Hi, the alert gave me a heart attack. Sorry. An advice I can give to anyone is to try to get involved in food justice organizations. Yes. Also, learn how to grow shit. I need to do that. That's what I need to do, TBH. I'm genuinely appalled by the shitty things powerful people do in this world. Well, yeah, that's why we need to get rid of them. Need to clean up. Yeah, community is the way to go, not to fall into despair, because the rich and elite would not have power and they can't have that. But yes, I actually can share with you this infographic that really helped me understand a lot of things that I was kind of not really understanding for a long time, because it seemed like so I don't know, something about it was like really hard to grasp for me. Actually, maybe I don't know how to fit it well in here. Let me move the chat a bit higher, maybe. Oh, anyway, so here's the revolutionary structure, right? This is by Lady. Wait, let me actually open it for myself too, because this is too small. Lady Izdihar. So you have the organized core, right? That's kind of just to give you an idea that we don't need as many people as we think. Okay. So the organized core, you've got professional revolutionaries. So there needs to be like a part of the population that's trained specifically for doing this and specifically for restructuring resources and stuff like that. Wait, one second. people who are trained in strategy, uh, people who can make things not fall apart, specifically in terms of organization and understanding the way that organizations work. By organizations, I mean like governments and stuff like that, right? Like, how do we make sure that, for example, everyone who's disabled gets food, or like if the current way of doing that is disrupted, right? Political organizers, underground coordinators, strike committees, press and propaganda teams, couriers and safe housekeepers, defense and security, logistics and supply. So people who are like trained in all of this shit, right? They're the organizational core, they're the protection core. They need to be protected, and they provide protection, and they provide strategy. There's a revolutionary moment that creates basically an opportunity, right? And then you get this sympathetic base, which is mutual aid networks, strike supporters, union workers that already have their unions, right? They are already organized in some capacity. Factory committees, students and young workers, neighborhood groups, sympathetic journalists, printers. So it's all the people who actually are organized. Usually it's like people who are working in, for example, like transportation of goods, people who work on docks or whatever, like Canada Post, for example, people who are delivering things. There's usually unions for medical staff, things like that, right? They're already organized in their own way, even though it's specifically for their profession and to represent their interest to the employer. Still, they are organized. And we just need them to be sympathetic to the cause. And then their job is to shut down production when the revolutionary moment happens, refuse orders, spread the message, and make the state ungovernable. Basically, you're the ones doing the jobs, you're the ones making it all happen. When the moment strikes, if you work in one of those jobs, your job is just to shut down, just not basically make it impossible for capitalists to do their job. They don't do shit, but you know what I mean, like to give orders. And then the masses, everybody else, basically families trying to survive, workers who are not yet organized, who are not in unions and stuff, poor and unemployed, people who just don't have any resources whatsoever, people who are pushed by hunger, war, and oppression, people who are they might not be very educated on the matter. They might not know much about how things are functioning and why we are in the state that we are in. However, they are experiencing the hunger, the effects of the war. They're the ones being sent to the war, stuff like that. And they are familiar with the feeling of oppression. They know that there's a lot of shit on their backs that they don't profit off of at all. They're also small shopkeepers, rural laborers. So people who are like, for example, far away from everyone else, they're not factory workers, right? So they don't usually have a union. But anyway, you get it. So for them, it's just not being passive. They are waiting for the cage to break. They're waiting for the revolutionary moment. When crisis hits, this layer floods the streets, overwhelms the police, and decides who rules. Basically, they're just the masses to give staying power to whatever is happening, right? Someone saying, yeah, Air Spears. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your nickname or your username correctly. I really love your videos and all your input on those topics. Give me often a lot of hope in mentally unstable times. Yeah, because the thing is, it's very mentally draining to be alive in this moment, because most of us don't know what the fuck to do, what the hell is going on. And the one thing I'm going to give you that is going to be very useful is actually trying to figure out how your neighborhood functions. Like, where does the food come from, right? Like, who delivers it? Who where's the fire department? How does this work? What kind of union is, not employing, but what kind of union do these workers belong to and stuff like that. Just so you understand it well enough where if anything happens, you know exactly how your particular neighborhood is functioning, and you can fill in the gaps or help in terms of giving people instructions on who to ask and who to talk to. Because the fact of the matter is, we function on our own within these big systems too, and we're making things like, it's kind of like if you look at the smallest societal cell as a family, for example, right? There's someone who takes out the trash. There's kind of like sanitation, like people who take out trash here, right? There's someone who makes the food. There's someone who buys the food. There's someone who makes the money. There's someone who is in charge of like making appointments with doctors and stuff like that. There's someone who cleans the floors and whatever. Basically, it's the same type shit. We just need to make sure that we understand who does what and how and when. So if anything hits, you can make sure that your immediate surroundings are not gonna unravel. Because in that case, people panic and they want to return to what it was before, even though it's not good either. Do you know what I mean? Like, to eliminate the panic, lives should be as supported and uninterrupted, especially when it comes to things like medical care, food, supplies, things like that, as much as possible. Revolution 101 from Lisa. What keeps me going is community and helping people. This is inspiring. Let's build community. Yeah, this is the only thing that kind of makes me feel sane, is like, honestly, just providing, like cooking some food for someone or whatever the hell. It's already something that, like, or learning how to fix something, like a car or plumbing, or how to take care of a wound, for example, seems like not a lot of work, and maybe seems like it's useless in the current moment, but in reality, all of these things, just knowing how things are done, is the best thing you can do for our future, for our collective future. Your pronunciation is perfect. Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Universities are also great ground to organize. A lot of universities from different countries do have this revolutionary culture that also encourages newer students to join the cause. Yes, true. However, it is better to go into organizations that are specifically for like that are, if you're a student, it's a good thing to be there. It's also good to get them involved. However, it's better to have organizational core that is made by adults who are professionals, in terms of like working people, working class, know how to do things. But yes. Okay, you guys. Good talk. Good talk. I said with an accent. I'll see you on Sunday. We'll be it's gonna be a gaming day. We're just gonna be gaming and shit. Having a good time. And let me know in the community post on YouTube if you want me to do a video of like the next Winx part, like Winx Sims 3 part, or if you want to do it live, because if we do it live, it's going to be sooner. But if I'm going to have to like edit and shit, it's going to be a while, because I'm honestly really, really busy with all the editing and stuff like that. I'm doing way too much. I wish I could be doing less, but I'm doing so much, and it's like not, like it's just not dude, nothing covers anything. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, did I do something with my chat? Damn. One day I'm gonna become real good at streaming. May chance that day is not today, because fuck everything, like I think something's stuck. Okay, yeah. Ooh. Oops. LOL, I just remembered it's Easter weekend. Now I'm ready to see extended family. Still a good time as always, Lisa. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. But yes, we'll convene on Sunday and we'll talk. Actually, no, we're just gonna be playing and talking shit. And I don't know, maybe Waverly's gonna be there. I'm gonna have to. I think she's gonna be already on her spring break, so she might gonna be there for this Sunday. Don't know 100%. Don't hold me to that. But perchance, okay? Anyway, great time. Love chatting with you. Ooh, maybe you should change stream category to just talking for this type of streams. Isn't it? Fuck. Isn't it in just talking right now? Is it not? Shit. Damn. Dude. Where do I change it? Oh, damn. Dude, it was like the entire time. I just changed it. Fuck. I'm like pissed now. No, this entire time, 3 hours, and I was in the wrong category. I thought it was like automatic because I scheduled it as just chatting in the schedule. This is so annoying. Holy shit. Well, what can I say? You live and you learn, I guess. Dude, someone used to give me like Twitch fucking 101, I swear to God. This is ridiculous. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you're having a great day. And we'll be back Sunday. So see you then.